Sherry, I don't know how you're the winner all the time. You are the winner all the time, I swear. Oh, you keeping warm? I'm barely keeping warm. I did some more work on these journals, so I just decided to go live real quick just to document it for anyone that's going to try to make something like this. So that's why I'm here. So I think the covers were just kind of all black and white last time we were together. And so what I've done, I got my graphite. Remember the graphite watercolors that we've played with in the past? So I got my graphite watercolors and I went, remember I lifted, oh, you were already on the videos. Okay. So, um, this is where I had lifted up some of the papers where I added the second layer to the wings. Kind of, sort of, you can see that. That's where I put that second layer. And so I came in with the graphite watercolors and went along the edges. Then I came into the inside and pretty much did the same thing to give it all a little bit. Can you see that? A little bit, whoops. A little bit more of that dimension. And then I got a little bit of the azo gold and kind of watered it down, and just got my brush and sort of slapped it. Just did little splatters all over the place. And then I got um, one of my black oil pastels and went around the edges. So that's pretty much how I finished all of the covers. I just went with the design that I already had on there. Came in with the graphite watercolors, came back with this, and then kind of lightened up the edges a little bit with, I don't remember which one I used. Uh, Maybe a brownish one? No, I don't think it was a brownish one. No. I'm not sure which one I used now. Oh, I think I used something like that. Or better yet, I think it was this one. So I went around with the black and then I went around with this just to kind of soften it up a little bit. And then I just smushed it around with my finger. It's pretty much it. And then, well, let me keep these together. I don't have the numbers on them anymore because I covered up the insides already. Then on each one, I had fussy cut. Fussy cut a bunch of bugs. And so on each one of these, I put a bug. So you can see her bug right there is there on her back. Hey, Tamar. Just doing a follow-up on the things I've done on the covers past day. So this has a bug on the back. And I took the little antennas off of the bug and put them on her head. So that's how far I got on that one. This one, basically, they all are following the same principle. I brought in the graphite watercolor in here and put them under the wings, and then use this to do some splatters and to go inside. And she also has her bug. There is her bug. And on some of these, I brought in some of my sparkly paint. So on some parts here on the metal, oh, there you go. What would be the metal part of her clothing, I put some of those in on her head. Okay, and then inside, I put the papers. I'm only going to be really emphasizing the front cover. I'm not going to do so much to the back ones because the back ones, they end up, sitting on something. So I don't want to put all those layers because they'll just get messed up anyway. Here is the next one. Again, there is her bug. And the graphite, oil pastel, same. They're all going to be the same. This is the one I put the mica on. So that's kind of much the only difference. And in case you can't see, there's her bug. Her bugs kind of blend in. Okay, so these, I didn't put multiple layers on the wings just because these are a lot more intricate. So I did some watercolor in there and then put some of my sparkly paints. And you can see where her bug is. She's got a flashy bug. Yep. And then the last one. So that's the progress that I've done so far. Next thing I'm doing is oh, they're underneath here. Next thing I'm doing is I printed out some of the, hey Carla, some of the covers that I have on here and the back part. And I printed them out smaller. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn these into, oh, and I did some eyeballs. I'm going to put some eyeballs on the picture, on the different pages. And then some of these gears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the transfer that you do with the tape. And so these will all end up being, translucent. And then once I get the pages, then these will be stickers that I'll be putting on the pages. So today what I did, they're over there in the kitchen right now drying. I made a bunch of grungy papers. And I put all kinds of stuff in there. I had some leftover avocado dye, so I threw the avocado dye in there. I threw some leftover dye, some natural dye I did. I forgot to label it. I don't know what it was. I threw it in there. I threw everything in there and then put a bunch of different types of papers. I threw in a little bit of what do you call it? What did I throw? Oh, that particular batch, I just put a bunch of leaves here and there and a little bit of onion skins and then just folded up the papers and put them in between a couple of books. And I boiled a couple of covers of some books. And yeah, dye soup, exactly. And so anyway, those are finally done. I just finished taking them apart and putting them there on, to hang them up. And so I thought, oops, I better do just a real fast one showing what I did to the covers and what I'm going to be doing next, just so it's documented in case somebody wants to try to attempt to make them. And so I'm going to be doing this tomorrow. I'll do the tape. I'll take those off. The grungy paper should be dry by the morning. Hey, Pinky! They should be dry by the morning. And maybe sometime tomorrow I'll start getting some of the pages together that'll go in here. But just real quick, for those of you that haven't, I'll do it on this because it's easier, that haven't done the transfer with the tape before. I mean, it's super simple. You just cover the picture with the tape. The hardest part is finding the end of the tape. It keeps coming off of here. It's supposed to make it for easy pickup. Oops, but it doesn't pick it up too well. Anyway, so all you do is you cover it up with the tape. And this was too long. I don't want to turn it over because that defeats the purpose. You got to be able to take the paper off. Okay, so oops. So what I'm going to do with all these that I want to use, I'm going to cover them up like that. And then you'll cut the strip off. And then you just dunk it in some water. Uh-oh, that was a little short. Dunk it in some water and let it soak for a couple of minutes. And then you rub off the paper and your ink is stuck to the tape and you create a transfer, and then you can glue it down wherever you want it, and it has a really cool effect. So the fact that, like I said, it's going to be see-through your sticker, and I've got grungy paper, so you'll see some of the grunge coming through. So that'll look pretty cool, I think. Yeah, they look really cool with magazines too. I don't know if this tape, guys, and it's not an off-brand. It is so cheap in a bad way. You saw what I did. I don't even have to run it across this thing for it to cut. I just pull it and it cuts. I've never seen tape do that. It is so weird. That is just plain weird. So I have to wonder, how good is that to hold a package together, you know? So then I would just get a little bowl, and I like to use it with, like, warm water, just warm water out of the tap. And then you just lay them in there. I hope this tape works, actually, because it's not that great a tape. And you're just going to put them in your little bowl and leave it, 5 minutes or so. You can leave it as long as you want, but you can start working on it after about 5 minutes. and you rub all the paper off, and you end up with just the item on the tape, and it looks really cool. So these will be all ready for me to do tomorrow. I did multiples because I got 6 journals, so if I just put one on each one, I need at least 6. So I did this other, where did it go? I thought these would look super cool because they're kind of steampunky, futuristic, kind of, sort of. Yeah, this, now see, if I go and pull it a little harder, it's just going to tear, and it's not even touching that. It's very strange. I think for most of us, we're going to get the pretty cold weather tomorrow, right? I mean, it was already, as soon as that sun went down, it was nippy here. But there's a couple of days next week, it's going to be in the low teens. And one day it's going to be 8 at night. So that's very unusual for us. So I figure, well, it's a good time to, I mean, I usually don't do my papers when it's this cold, but I figure, well, the heater's going to be running day and night anyway, so it's going to dry out those papers by the morning for sure. So I went ahead and did them. I was in the mood for some new grungy, because I put all the leftover of my grungy in those grungy paper packs I sold a couple of months ago, which meant I didn't have any more. So it was time. Uh-oh. Little wrinkle. That'll just make it look a little more antique-y. A little more antique-y. Okay. Whoops. Hey, Casey. But doesn't it get hot get cold in the desert at night, Pinky, doesn't it? I can't remember what towns we were in, but boy, it got pretty nippy at night, in the wintertime. We might have been up in the mountains. I can't remember where we were. I remember when we lived in California, my husband was an amateur astronomer, and he had this telescope, big giant telescope, and we'd go out into the California desert, to get away from all the lights. And let me tell you, it was nippy at night. Woo! You had to bundle up. 32. Yeah, I think we're going to be about in the 30s tonight, but it's going to, well, maybe high 20s. They were saying somewhere between that. But Sunday night, forget it. It's going to be stinking cold. It's going to be cold where you are, Casey, right? Wow, there's a lot of those. They came like that. One of them, it had one page with all of the pages, which is kind of cool, especially when I do those dominoes and stuff. It works out just hunky dory. Hunky dory. Speaking of which, I found that I had another box that I didn't do, so I'm looking forward to. Okay, now these aren't in a row. Ah, how rude. Okay. Hey, Molly. These are pretty crazy, huh? How long are these? Let's see. Let's see. From the tippy 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 to right here is 12. So 12, 13, about 13 and a half, close to 14. Um, I don't know where you can get these now. I used to get these at Harbor Freight Tools or Harbor, you know what I mean, which one I mean. Anyway, they used to carry them and they stopped carrying them. And then Anne, one of my friends that comes here on YouTube, she had bought one somewhere. I don't know where she bought them. She didn't find them at Harbor Tool, but she found they were too heavy for her hands. So she gifted them to me. So I'm not sure where she got these, to tell you the truth. I'll have to ask her. I think she told me. I just don't remember. But I love them. I do all my fussy cutting with these. I don't know why. Like, look. Like I did these little, I do all my fuss for some reason. I don't know if it's the balance it gives me. I don't know if it's the range. I don't know. I don't know. I find it way easier to cut with those than the little dinky ones that a lot of people do their fussy cuts with. I haven't figured it out yet. My husband says it's my dyslexia. I do everything backwards. Yeah, they do go with the pictures. Don't they, Molly? Yeah, it does. So if you guys just got here, I came on because I'm working on my covers, and I just wanted to show what was the next step on them. So in case you're going to try and make some, I did my um, the graphite watercolor. I always forget what they're called. But they're wonderful. If you guys have never bought graphite watercolors, I just love them. They kind of look all the same color, but they aren't. so, so that's what I use to go underneath the wings and inside the wing. And then took my gold, the nickel azo gold, watered it down, sprinkled it all over the place, and then got some oil pastels, run around the edges, and then put one of the fussy cut bugs on her back, and then put her antennas up there. And right now, my grungy papers that are going in here, they are drying on the rack as we speak. And this has some mica. I put some little pieces of mica on that one. And this one, I put some little on her. Oh, they're on the metal, little sparkly paints. There's her little bug. And here's another one. And I also, the ones that have the larger wings, what I did is I printed out 2 copies. The one I glued on. Then the second copy, I cut them out and bent them up. So it really is, I know it has a 3D effect, but it really is. These pieces are, you can see they're sitting up on top. And so there's her little bug. And then she had these big wings. So I did some watercolor and some sparkly, and there's her bug. And this is the last one. I got sparkly on her bug. You can't miss her bug. Anyway, so the papers that, oops, I got drying right now. What I do is I make my grungy papers and I boil them and put inks and leftover dyes from my dye bath that I have, my natural dye that I do. I save everything and put it in a jar. And then when I do my grungy stuff, I just throw all the different ones in there, and whatever happens, happens. So that'll be fun. And then these are going to be stickers, little transfer stickers that will be going on some of the grungy pages. I have no idea what all this is going to look like when it's done. But, oops, now I can't see where the other one is. Oh, there it is. But I think it'll be fun. I think they'll look fun. Oh, and this is on wood. These are wood. As opposed to usually, we made them out of the hardboard or cardboard. These just happen to be wood. I had those pieces, and I'm trying this year to use up whatever I have and try to create some kind of a project with whatever I have. So those boards I had. No, Casey. What I did is I made an announcement last month. I should make a video because the announcement was on one of my lives. But I made an announcement that I had been making these kits for 5 years. I didn't realize it was crazy. I'd been doing them for 5 years every month and made a journal for every kit. So, you can multiply that. And actually, I was getting burnt out. And I was getting tired of working on the same project for it ended up being like 2 months because I had to think about it. I had to design it. I had to get the stuff, had to put it together. So I had to do all that like 2 or 3 weeks before the month. And then when the month would come, then I'm working all month with the tutorials of how to do them. And then I had to do the same thing all over again for the next month, and they would like overlap. And, you know, I was just literally burning out because it wasn't sustainable for me to be coming up with a new idea every month and so on and so forth. And then, um, so I decided, well, it kind of came in a wave of decisions actually, because there was two things going on. I was getting burnt out with creative ideas, and I felt like I was having to stifle my own creativity because when I created a kit, I had all you guys in mind, what you guys would like. And maybe what you guys like, I don't, and vice versa. But I had to cater more toward, obviously, if I want to sell them, I had to cater to your taste. So then the kind of things that I kind of wanted to do, because I had no time to do them, um, my creativity of what I wanted to do was always on the back burner. So, so couple that with, oh my goodness, coupling that with the fact that I wanted to see how this is doing. Coupling that with me wanting to destash a bunch of my stuff. And I was just working myself into a tizzy because I don't like doing sales. I didn't mind, promoting my kits and stuff, but the sale part, getting the stuff ready, organizing it, to me was just as hard as doing the kits. And I was burnt out on doing that. So I thought, man, I don't want to be doing this de-stash practically the same way I was doing the kits. I don't want to do that. So then I got a flash. And I said, well, forget the kits, forget the de-stash, and just make whatever you want to make. And if you have enough of what you made that you wanted to make, if you have anything left over, then put together, uh-oh, that's Mr. Morris, my husband. Hold on, please. Sorry about that. He didn't know I was going to go live because I didn't know I was going to go live. So anyway, so that's a long-winded answer to you, Casey, that there is no kit in Etsy of this, but I do have things left over. So once these journals are done, I'll see how much of the grungy paper I have left, and I'll see how much of this, that, and the other. And I'll put, there might be 4 or 5 kits, I don't know, of leftover stuff. And that's how I'm going to proceed for the foreseeable future. I'm just going to make journals that I enjoy making. And if I have stuff left over, then that will be how I'll be de-stashing. I'll use, certain materials that I enjoy working with, make something, and then de-stash the rest. I think that's going to work for me. I think it's going to work. Yeah, Richard, my husband, he called because the dogs were sleeping and they just jumped up. And usually they do that when they hear me coming home because I'm working in my studio, which is, how did I do that? Which is next door to my house. So I'm not home. And when I leave the studio and head, across the yard to the house, the dogs get all excited. So the dogs got all excited, but then I never came in. So my husband calls, "Where are you?" I'm in the studio. He goes, "Oh, because the dogs are jumping all over the place." I said, "I don't know. It's not me. You better go figure out what they're excited about." So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so the digitals. All right, okay, it's all different. They've all got a different story. Some of the digitals I write out by, and I only buy, well, the ones that I put in the kits. There are some where you can buy the license to print them out, and package them into whatever it is you're doing. And then other ones, I have various sites that I go to where they have free downloads, and I've scoured those. A lot of people say, "Where did you find that? And where did you find that?" There's no way I can tell you. I've been saving files for like 5 years. I cannot tell you where anything came from unless I purchased it. If I purchased it, then I can go through Etsy and find out, who I got it from and like that. But as far as the things that I've researched and saved, there's no way I can tell you. I never saved them in a way that, I could look back and say, "Oh, this came from blah, blah, blah." Because I figured once I saved them, it's saved, right? Hey, Dal, how you doing, girl? We're just wasting time here. If any of my papers are dry by the time I do this, I'll bring some of the grungy papers over. Oh my goodness. And I'm really running low on my eco prints. I got quite a few orders past couple of weeks. So that means I got to get serious to make some of those, so I'm not left without any to fill my orders. Oh, she's hot. Dally, we don't even want to hear. We do not want to hear. We're over here freezing our noses off, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Okay, one more down here. But when I make, now see, like these I just collected over time. These I purchased on Etsy. Now, some of the ones you buy, they'll let you print them out and do whatever, but you have to alter them. Some of them tell you that you can print them out and down, but you can't alter them. You got to really read all the fine print. I get confused because they're all different. I don't know what their reasoning behind you have to alter it. You can't alter it. It's like, oh my goodness, you know. So it's like you're not ever really sure. You got to double check. You can get yourself in trouble really fast. Hey, Adria, what you doing, girl? So if you guys just got here, these are going to be, you know, the image transfer on the tape, and they become transparent, and then you can put them on your pages. They look really cool. So I'm just getting some of these ready. I'll work on all these probably tomorrow if I don't get busy making more grungy paper. Yeah, Casey, it's less problematic if you don't sell nothing. Well, Molly, if you ever see something I'm working on, because you know everyone here knows I have a memory of nothing unless I write it down on a piece of paper and hope I don't lose a piece of paper. But you can always go to my Etsy shop, and leave me a message and say, oh, that one you were working on, that steampunky one. If you make a kit, can you put my name on one? And then when they're ready, if I do it or I have them, which I will for this one, that way you'll be, one of the first people notified. And if you still want it, you're not obligated, but if you still want it, well, you'll hear about it. And down below, underneath this video, should be, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got my Etsy shop on there. The Rusty Peacock. Okay, Casey, you take care. Then you understand, Molly. Yep. You get me. Ooh, that's a creepy one. What did we use this on before? I used this on another. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of those spooky ones, I think. I think it was a spooky one. Adriel will remember. Okay. So those will all be my stickers. Oh, I'm going to have a sore finger taking all that paper off. Okay, let me go see if any of the, ouch, and my knee is killing me. Let me go see if any of those papers are halfway dry. See what they look like. If my knee cooperates. Ooh, it just made a funny noise. Let's see. Oh, some are dry. Ooh, some aren't. Ooh, they're mostly wet. They're mostly wet. I'll just make a couple. So a lot of this is the let's see, it was leftover. That was the leftover avocado I threw in the base of this. And then at some point I threw some coffee in there. See, it's still wet. All the goobers. And I did throw a couple of leaves here and there. And this is some old ledger. Oh, and it bled, the ink. Oh, huh. A lot of these old ones don't bleed, but this did. Oh, 49. See, the real old ones don't bleed. But like when you get into the 40s and 50s, they do. Okay, so there's some of that. And then here and there, I threw some turmeric. That's where you see the yellow. And this here is a paper placemat. I like them because they're thin. And this is a piece to some ledger, some leftover piece. And this is, I don't know what. Oh, I do. That's that construction paper that I like. And this one's still pretty wet. This is just an old something I got a long time ago at some thrift store. It was just a bundle of different papers. Well, that's still pretty wet also. And this is another placemat. Oh, there you can see it better. And this is a really large one. So anyway, so they're gonna come out pretty pretty grungy. I was just showing the papers that I boiled. That's going to go into these journals for a little grungy look. They're not dry yet. I got to go put them back up on the rack so they can dry. And that's about it for tonight, you guys. I just wanted to, I was on a roll working on them, and I didn't want to miss any of the steps for you guys to be able to watch it in case you wanted to make something similar. So tomorrow, these will all be dry. I'll soak these in some water, peel off all the paper, end up with the stickers. And if I decide to work more on it tomorrow or tomorrow evening, then I'll come back on or make a video or whatever, so you can see the next things I decide to do. Oh, no problem, Molly. No problem at all. I think now that I'm just kind of doing these instead of the actual, kits every month, I'll be a little more sporadically on, because if I'm motivated to work on it, then I'll just come on and show what I'm doing next. So that'll be kind of fun. Anyway, okay, well, thank you guys so much for showing up. And I think these are going to look pretty cool when they're done. To tell you the truth, I still don't know, how I'm putting these together. I have like 3 different ideas of, how to put the signatures in here, but I really don't know which one I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do a different one on, a couple of different ones. I'm not sure yet, because I know the next question is, well, how are you going to finish them? I don't know. I never know. Yeah, burnt out is a real thing. I mean, it really is, especially when you're doing something you enjoy and you get burnt out. That's the pits, right? So you got to regroup, figure out what you're going to do. And I think this is going to work for me for a while. And like I told the ladies, it doesn't mean forever. Just like the kits weren't forever, this may not be forever. I might go back to the kits. And I also said if there's something that really strikes my fancy, I might just go all out and make, a kit that particular month. So that's not out of the realm of possibility too. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And you never know. I might show up tomorrow night. Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see. But you guys all stay warm. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.